You are in a white man's economy, but that is a conscious decision, and you don't know it was a decision because you were never told that it was a choice. So here's what so let me go into this a little bit further so I can really kind of nail this in it doesn't sound like we're talking all around the world. I want you to connect all of it, right? So when you look at the fact that 106,000 black women lost their jobs in April, that the black female unemployment rate spiked to about 6.1%. No, sorry, it went to 5.1%. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it went from 5.1% to 6.1% in April for black women. Black men, it's still a little bit higher. 304,000 jobs have been lost since February. And also, there's a 5 month low in employment. So the number of employed black women fell from 10.2 million in April which it fell to 10.2 million in April, which is the lowest in 5 months. There's a crisis and it's deepening. A lot of it relates to things like what's going on with the big beautiful bill, as well as the new president. So if you wanted to call this, if you wanted to really talk about the Essence Music flop, if you wanted to call it that, I wouldn't call it a flop, but let's say that you did, you would have to link it to what's been going on economically in this country, right? So you got the big beautiful bill that was just passed. And a lot of people are celebrating this big, beautiful bill. I'm not one of them. I just observe what's happening and then adjust. I don't really celebrate or not celebrate things. I just see what it is. And here's the deal with the big, beautiful bill. We've talked about this. The big, beautiful bill, the studies show that 60% of the benefits of that bill go to those in the top 20% of of income, right? And also the other thing about the big beautiful bill is that it tends to benefit people that are business owners and investors. So if you look at the big beautiful bill, and I'm not saying that anyone should like it because there's a lot to like and not like about it. If you're wealthy and you care about your money, then you're going to find benefits like tax credits and incentives to start businesses, incentives to own real estate, opportunities to make money that way. But if you don't like it, then of course you wouldn't, because there are cuts to things like Medicare, Medicaid, and important programs, right? So with that said, one thing about rich people, though, if you look at the top 20% of earners in America, most of them are stock market investors. So, in my view, the best thing I can do for you is to not whine and complain and scream about what they're doing in Washington, because I can't change that. It's to basically tell you that I encourage you to become stock market investors, because money will be made in the stock market as a result of what's being done here. The other thing about the big, beautiful bill, just as a side note, is that it's financially irresponsible because it's going to increase the national deficit quite a lot. And it's really, really, if you are a black Republican, which many of you are, and I don't, and I told you I don't tell you what political party you affiliate with, you should probably notice the inherent contradiction in the fact that Republicans tend to be the ones who talk about fiscal responsibility, but this bill really isn't responsible. This bill really is accelerating the economy in the short term, but it's going to have tremendous economic costs in the long term. So that's what it does. That's what it is. And also the political environment, by sort of reducing things like the DEI programs and the government contract opportunities, things like that. That's probably trickled down to not just the Essence Fest, but also those businesses and individuals that might attend the Essence Fest, right? A lot of vendors who would have normally gone to the Essence Fest, who many of whom were receiving money from corporations either through DEI initiatives or or were getting government contracts. A lot of that money may have been wiped away. Also, you have a lot of attendees who had DEI related positions with their jobs. I know a lot of DEI consultants, and most of them are black women. I don't think I know a single black male who was a diversity consultant with corporations who actually had corporate contracts and stuff like that.